Hello, everyone, and welcome to Gen AI Con. I am delighted to be joined today by Saurabh Kumar, who has over a decade of experience using data science to solve marketing problems. He currently works at Kraft Heinz and previously worked for Facebook, Uber, and WhatsApp. Thank you so much for joining me here today to talk about AI-powered marketing.
Thank you, Francesca. Hi, everyone. My name is Saurabh Kumar, and I'll be talking about AI-powered marketing in the presentation today. And I'll be talking about how you can transform your marketing strategy with the power of artificial intelligence. I would like to get into the presentation, but before that, I would like to state out a disclaimer that as a speaker at this conference, I'd like to mention that the ideas and opinions I present are solely my own and are not supported or endorsed by my employer in any capacity. My participation in this event is strictly as an individual, and I do not represent my employer in this event. So the classic question, why AI in marketing, right? We'll try to answer that question. And I'll start with a little story of this brand that deals with fashion products called Trendy Threads. So they launched a summer campaign, and their tagline was hot styles for cool people. Despite what they thought were catchy graphics and broad platform coverage, this campaign struggled with low engagement and poor sales. The marketing team was confused and puzzled and disheartened, so they turned to their AI-powered marketing tool, which helped them quickly pinpoint the issue. The tagline, hot styles for cool people, was alienating customers who did not think that they were cool, and it seemed exclusive to a section of their audience. The AI helped the team analyze the current language trends and suggested a more inclusive tagline, stay cool your way. The Trendy Threads team updated their campaign, featuring a diverse range of individuals and promoting individuality. And this shift was a huge success for the team. The engagement and sales soared. They set new records for their summer campaigns. So this anecdotal experience that I just talked about at Trendy Threads helped the team see the value of artificial intelligence in marketing, not only for doing tasks like data analysis, but also for enhancing the creativity and in making sure that they do think of inclusivity when they build their campaigns, making their campaigns more effective and resonating with their target audience. So I'll be talking about this question, why AI in marketing, and addressing three broad areas to touch on it. Primarily, artificial intelligence helps with increased efficiency, as is known to a lot of us. Artificial intelligence in marketing helps with much more richer personalization at the consumer level. And it also helps with data-driven decisions. So in the context of marketing, if you have to understand AI, it refers to the use of machine learning algorithms, natural language processing, and data analytics technologies to automate, enhance, and personalize marketing efforts. AI helps businesses analyze vast amounts of data from various sources to identify trends, predict customer behavior, optimize their ad campaigns, and tailor content to individual preferences. So as you may have seen the rise of various AI agents that are helping companies become smarter about how they operate, right? So when you think about using machine learning algorithms, then it's pretty common for companies to utilize AI to digest vast amounts of text data and try to make sense of it. So far as examples of text data is concerned, as companies daily interact with customers, there are messages exchanged between the consumer and the business, that there are reviews that consumers leave for businesses, and there are issues with the consumer experience with that product that they express in messages to the company. So now with the advent of AI, it has become much more easier to sort of make sense of all that rich data stream that is ever increasing and is being accumulated by the companies on almost a real-time basis, on a day-by-day basis. Now, artificial intelligence enables more efficient and effective marketing strategies that can lead to improved engagement with the consumers. Because when you know what are the common pain points that consumers are expressing in these messages, in these tickets, in these calls, then you can try to identify what is the underlying common theme uh, that is causing a lot of these issues, and hopefully address them much more proactively now and much more quickly now with the advent of AI than before. Making campaigns resonate with individual consumers and speak to their own value system leads to improved conversions. And artificial intelligence used by various large ad tech companies and platforms, complemented with creative ideas and rich ads that are personalized to the needs of the consumer, leads to better targeting and hence better conversions. And that's the sort of one of the various benefits of um, implementing artificial intelligence in your marketing. Now, so far as AI in marketing is concerned, there are 4 key things that are critical for a company to be successful with it. The number one thing is the data collection phase, right? In this phase, you gather data from disparate sources such as social media, the purchase history of your consumer, the web interaction that the consumer has had. So as I was talking about, consumer leaving reviews, as well as your own customer relationship management system has a treasure trove of data. You just gather all of them, clean them, and unify them in a usable format, providing the rich input that is necessary for any AI system to assist with decision making. Secondly, the use of algorithms that process the collected data from the previous step to identify any resonating trends or patterns in the underlying data, help with transformation of these vast data sets into actionable insights for informing targeted marketing strategies. Thirdly, there is automation. AI is assisting with automating a lot of marketing tasks, such as customer segmentation, efficient ad bidding, and doing it at scale, optimizing the processes and making sure that the human errors are reduced, automatically adjusting the campaigns dynamically and optimizing them as a campaign is live. All of this has become much more easier with the advent of these tools that are now accessible to a much broader audience than was possible before, where you did need specialized knowledge to be able to harness the power of automation. Finally, AI-driven personalization can help tailor the ads, can help customize the recommendation and the content to the individual consumer preferences, which helps in improving the engagement and also helps in increasing the conversion rates for businesses. I'll talk about 2 real-world use cases as an example, as to help you think through what are the typical applications of intelligent data analysis in the industry. So a lot of us are familiar and have heard that a company like Netflix uses artificial intelligence to analyze the viewer data, right? They look at what are your watching habits, How do you rate content? What are your personal preferences? And all of this helps inform their models to personalize the content that they recommend to you. Now, the AI-driven approach ensures that every single user's homepage is unique and helps enhance their satisfaction with the product and helps improve retention by consistently providing engaging and relevant content to the user. The data for these suggestions, which are personalized content suggestions, are collected consistently, continuously through the interactions that the user is having with the system, with the product, right? Such as what is the content that the user is viewing? That's the ultimate vote for what do they like, right? What is the content that they start watching but do not really finish it, right? What sort of ratings do the users provide to the content that they have watched? And what are they searching? What are they looking for? Once they search for a content, which content are they really watching? The algorithms analyze this data, identifying patterns and user preferences to generate custom recommendations that align with individual taste and viewing behavior. Now, you may be surprised, but AI might know your movie preferences better than your family, than your own family, than your own spouse, maybe. And a second use case is a pretty standard common one. It's a predictive analytics use case where a company like Amazon leverages predictive analytics to forecast product demand and optimize inventory levels by analyzing their historical sales data, seasonal trends, consumer behavior. Now, this ensures that they do efficient stock management and enhances their customer experience by recommending products that users are likely to purchase based on their browsing and buying patterns. Now, granted, AI is not very good at all of this end to end. So, for example, forecasting use cases, AI is not very good at it, right? But AI is definitely good at taking the forecast and then helping the team at Amazon fine-tune the other following steps. So, for instance, if they do know the demand and the stock for a specific type of SKUs, then that can help them inform which products to really promote and which ones to not promote, and make for a very intelligent um, marketing strategy, as opposed to not doing it smartly. And if you think of it, as I was talking about, the process as a whole, it starts with collecting data. The right data is extremely important. So a company would be interested in what are the users clicking on, what are they actually buying, what did they buy in the past, how are they navigating through the website, through web pages, what is their browsing behavior, and what sort of social media interactions are the consumers doing with this brand. The second phase, post data collection, is to process that data, to store it, and to clean it, and do further analysis on this processed, cleaned, stored data. Thirdly, the teams would build models on top of this data and draw insights from these models. And these insights, examples could be different segments of customers, forecasting demand, or deciding how to do pricing. And all of this combined then informs personalized marketing campaigns. So it's kind of a consistent feedback loop wherein you do use all of this previous steps outputs to inform the marketing campaign, and then the outcome of that campaign are then fed into the system to improve the results of the model even further, going further out, right? The other example of the use of artificial intelligence in the marketing space is to do content creation. So for instance, a mid-sized e-com company aiming to refresh their online ad campaign can use generative AI to automate and innovate their ad copy creation by inputting basic product info and desired emotional tone into the selected generative AI model, the marketing team can quickly generate compelling, creative ad texts tailored to different demographics. This can not only help them slash their content development time, but can also allow for A/B testing of various ad creatives at scale, leading to higher engagement rates and increased sales. This demonstrates how AI can transform traditional marketing tasks by enhancing creativity and efficiency. Now, the use cases for the content creation space are really wide and varied. And a lot of teams may be thinking that we have to kind of pay a company like OpenAI if you're using the Chat GPT API to do a lot of this content creation. But there are alternatives available as well. There are open source models such as Llama 3, which is considered to be one of the best open source models available out there. And for any company that is concerned about the costs of accessing this ChatGPT API or data security aspects, where you do not want your data to be held or stored outside of your own servers with any other external vendor, you can totally rely on an open source model such as Llama 3 and hold all the data on your own servers and build your models and do the content creation in-house relatively inexpensively with the right resources at your disposal. So as an example, I would like to cite a marketing team at a coffee chain, for example, right? And they are called Morning Brew, and they want to use AI, for instance, to generate ad copy for their seasonal pumpkin spice latte. Now, they can use a language model to create targeted advertisements, and their demo might look something similar to what I'm showing here, right? So they can provide an input where the product is pumpkin spice latte. They can specify the audience that they're trying to target, young adults and coffee enthusiasts. Their tone can be pre-selected. They want their tone to be warm and inviting. And they can use some keywords, right? They can specify the model that, hey, refer these keywords as you're thinking about creating these targeted ads. So pumpkin spice, cozy autumn, limited time, fall favorite. So all of these are inputs. And once the team gives those inputs, you can see that the AI can do the content creation. Now here the example shown is that of text content creation, right? Copy for the ads, for the Facebook campaign, for their Instagram, for their Twitter, and for their email marketing. But artificial intelligence can also be used for image generation. So there are tools out there that help you generate display ad creatives, for example, relatively easily. So for example, Simplified AI is one of the products that does that. Then there's the Canva as well. And you can see some of these examples in here as to how AI is helping this specific brand to do content creation relatively quickly and more efficiently. Another area of application for artificial intelligence is customer service and chatbots, right? That is one area which will be disrupted the most is customer service. There's a lot of opportunity in there to use artificial intelligence smartly. Now, a company that is very that has been very successful even before the advent of large language models with chatbots and driving really high lifetime value customers to their stores using chatbots is Sephora, right? So they partnered with a Canadian startup which was catering to the Gen Z, and they realized that once they launched the chatbot with the startup, they were able to attract users who were much more likely to spend more money and send many more messages to Sephora, this beauty retailer. And when they came to the store, they spent significantly more money than the other customers who were not using their chatbots. So of course, with the advent of LLMs and additional technologies, the company has made these chatbots accessible through their website, as well as on their Facebook Messenger, which of course a lot more users have access to. And they're able to offer personalized advice around beauty, product recommendations, and also helps users book appointments. This convenience and customized interaction has led to much faster response times and improved engagement and overall customer experience for a company like Sephora. And what you see on the slide is a picture of one of their chatbots that they initially launched. The use of AI to improve customer service, as I was talking about, is gaining steam, and a lot of enterprise customers are utilizing chatbots to take their customer service up multiple notches. Chatbots can answer cookie cutter common questions. They can help with organizing tickets. The AI can be used to do sentiment analysis of the messages that customers are sending, as well as the reviews that customers leave on the service. AI can easily help with multilingual queries because it's extremely good at different languages, and AI generated content can be used in agent responses. AI can also help with monitoring and optimizing customer wait times. And there are examples of chatbot in customer service where artificial intelligence is complementing the human in the loop, wherein it is easy for the artificial intelligence to sort of seek the expertise of the human when it encounters a scenario that it is not well prepared to provide a resolution to. And so this unique combination of a human expert and AI helps make these customer service teams a lot more efficient at getting their jobs done and provide an excellent customer experience. So as we think about the progressing adoption of artificial intelligence, it is important to consider what are the ethical aspects that need to be kept in mind, specifically in marketing, right? There are privacy concerns, there is data security concerns. Number one is transparency. It is extremely critical to inform the customers clearly when they're interacting with artificial intelligence, such as a chatbot or an automated system. And it is also important to provide clear explanation for how the AI is making decisions, especially when they are personalizing recommendations. The second aspect is the privacy, data privacy. So it is extremely important that all data collection is compliant with the data protection laws, such as GDPR, CCPA, and any other data protection law that comes into effect as time goes by. So it's important to keep track of that by obtaining explicit consent from your users. Implementing strong data security to protect user data is also extremely critical. To make sure that there is fairness and there's no discrimination inadvertently happening, it is important to test the systems to minimize any bias. And it is also critical to ensure that data is representative and diverse of all the customer segments that interact with a specific brand. Accountability is extremely important. Establishing oversight to monitor the AI operations and maintaining detailed logs of what sort of decisions is the AI making is critical. Maintaining the accuracy is very important. So the data quality standards need to be maintained to make sure that the systems are reliable. And it's also important to regularly stress test AI models to ensure that these models are accurate and relevant. And apart from all this, it is also extremely important to be aware of any copyright violations when AI is being used to generate content, either text content or image content. So it is extremely important to understand and vet from a legal standpoint that the brand is compliant and is not violating any copyright laws when they are using artificial intelligence. The future is going to see that in the future, we are going to see that a lot of AI agents are already coming into play and will continue to become mainstream for lots of organizations. So think of agents as advanced form of a software application that used to let companies accomplish a limited set of tasks per software application. Here, agents will be a more advanced form of those software applications. These are autonomous systems that can perform tasks, that can make decisions, that can learn from the interactions without human intervention. Sort of self-fulfilling system. And chatbot is an excellent example of an AI agent or a virtual assistant, and also recommendation systems. Now, think of a scenario where you have a extremely well-tailored, well-customized AI agent that can be used to handle inquiries from your customers, provide personalized recommendations, and analyze data to optimize your marketing campaigns almost in real time. Agents that can automate routine tasks such as email marketing, posting on the social media, and ad placement, allowing the marketing teams to focus on more strategic activities. There are a few examples of some AI agents that are already being used in marketing. For example, there is Drift, which is a conversational AI agent that uses chatbots to engage website visitors to qualify leads, book meetings, and provide customer support in real time. HubSpot has a conversational AI agent that automates customer interactions, provides personalized responses, and integrates with the HubSpot CRM to enrich customer profiles. Then there is Albert AI, which is an autonomous marketing platform that manages and optimizes digital campaigns across channels such as social, search engines, and email. You have Persado, which is a content generation AI that generates personalized marketing messages that resonate with audiences. And then there's Conversica, which is a sales AI agent that engages potential leads through channels such as email, SMS, and qualifies them and hands off what it considers to be hot leads to human sales reps, freeing up a lot of time for the human sales reps and making them much more efficient. So in sum, we touched upon the key question as to why AI in marketing. What is AI in marketing? We talked about two real-world use cases. We talked about AI in content creation, AI in customer service. What are the ethical considerations, and how the future will be the emergence of more and more AI agents in marketing. And we talked about a few examples of AI agents that are already in use in the marketing space. So with that, I conclude my presentation, and I'm open to any questions that you may have. And one call to action for the audience is to think, how can you integrate artificial intelligence into your organization's marketing strategies and make it better? Thank you. Francesca, are there any questions?
Thank you so much. That was absolutely brilliant, Kumar. I do have a question. So my question is around harvesting data. Do you think, in terms of the ethical considerations, would it be wise for a brand to harvest data from social networks, from their competitors, or to set up a forum and socially engineer the forum so that it's asking questions, doing polls to incite more information, and then using that information for maybe profiling customers and creating personas and things like that?
Yeah, I briefly touched upon it a little bit, but what I would say is that it is extremely important to make sure that from an ethical standpoint, you're absolutely clear to your consumers that if you're setting up, let us say there is a Facebook group for your brand, right? So brands like Costco have a huge fan following, and they have set up a Facebook group for their consumers to interact with each other, talk about deals and such. So if there is any plan to ever use any of that interaction that is happening in that forum for any insight driving purposes or any segmentation purposes, or to understand the customer reaction to a specific product launch that has happened, then it is extremely important to let the consumer know that you're going to do that. That is just the right business practice, I think. And then there is the second aspect to it is the legal aspect. Are you in the clear? Can you do that? Are you not violating any regulation by mining some of this data for your own business purposes? And so far as mining competitor data is concerned, there are vendors out there that do provide competitor data uh, within limited with limitations that can help companies make more strategic decisions. And so it is always important to do a lot of due diligence, and that's why the role of governance and the role of thinking through the legal aspect is so critical before we decide to do any data processing, any data farming as a brand.
Wonderful. And my last question is around AI for e-commerce and product recommendations. So obviously Amazon has been famous at doing product recommendations, and now we're moving towards LLMs, which can provide advice. And LLMs with RAG can then connect with databases on product, previous orders, and things like that to avoid hallucinations. But there's also a trend towards humanizing AI using avatars. And then you can personalize what the avatars are saying. Maybe the avatars are speaking in different languages, but it will be incredibly difficult for a brand eventually to monitor all of the conversations going on. So, what potential problems do you foresee with avatars being used for e-commerce and shopping recommendations, and how could we stop those problems occurring so that we can use this powerful tool?
Yeah, some of these problems cannot be anticipated ahead of time, unfortunately. But there are some that can totally be anticipated where you can do small pilot launches of avatars. Like, so for example, I am a relatively non-tech savvy person when it comes to experiencing e-commerce. I do not like avatars talking to me. It's terribly annoying for me as a consumer. So I would not want that. So how can you distinguish the consumer taste when you are rolling out these avatars and making sure that you're not forcefully introducing these avatars for everybody? How do you give the consumer the choice whether they want to be using avatars when they are interacting with your brand? That is paramount. That is one. Secondly, thinking about trust and safety. Um, is the user who is logged in, are the kids accessing the service? And is it ethical or okay to then have avatars interact with these kids? So that is also very important. Thirdly, are there any legal implications of using avatars? Are you violating any sort of copyright for your competitor when you're launching the avatars, for example? So that is answering one part of your question. What was the other part of your question, Francesca? Did I answer your question completely, or?
It was more in terms of monitoring all of the conversations going on, because yes, you have virtual influencers who you can see their social media accounts, but imagine someone clicks on that and they can have a one-on-one conversation with little Michaela, and the conversation can be in a different language, it can be personalized, you can use RAG for memory of all of the conversations in the past. So over time the avatar appears to really have a relationship with that user. But there is obviously a risk of LLMs going off in tangents, maybe promoting products that don't exist. Should avatars be promoting products or not is another question that we'll have to grapple with at some stage. But it's still a great area.
Totally, totally. And I think that's where the trust and safety aspect comes into the picture. It is extremely important to gradually and slowly roll this out. Look at the edge cases, as you were saying, where avatars are hallucinating and giving incorrect response to the user. There's a lot of talk about RAGs, and people think that RAGs will come and solve all of the problems, but that is not the case, because there are research papers out there that show that even after implementing RAGs, the hallucination problem does not completely go away for some of the AI tools out there, right? So again, trust and safety, continuous monitoring, the feedback loop, and setting up the right guardrails is extremely crucial to make sure that any unwanted consequence of introducing this new technology does not give an adverse impact to both the consumer experience as well as the brand safety for the brand that is implementing these new technologies in their business.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time today. And where would you like people to get in touch with you? Would LinkedIn be a good place?
Yeah, LinkedIn is great. They can get in touch with me on LinkedIn.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for your time, all of your insights, and I hope you have a great rest of the day.
You too, Francesca. Hope you enjoy New York. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye.